We're going to preview the Cowboys vs. Colts Sunday Night Football matchup, and if you want the Cowboys to blow out a bad Colts team, send the energy and like the video for me right now. The Dallas Cowboys hosting the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday Night Football, a game that at the beginning of the year was like, you know what, maybe it's two playoff teams. And the Colts have already fired their head coach. They've benched their starter and then brought him back, and it's been a bit of a weird year for Indy. Their offense has been a dumpster fire. They are 30th in points scored, although they are getting a little bit better at running the football as late. Their defense has actually been pretty good this year. They're the number 11 scoring defense that tends to track with some of the advanced metrics as well. The Cowboys are the biggest favorite in the entire NFL this week, 11.5 points as they host the Colts, who, by the way, are coming off Monday Night Football, so a tough turnaround to go on the road, and the Cowboys have the added advantage of the mini bye week. So as long as they ain't rusty, everything points towards at least a Cowboys win, but we want more than just a win right now. The Colts did get a win in Jeff Saturday's first game as the interim head coach against the Las Vegas Raiders. They then lost games in narrow fashion against Philadelphia and Pittsburgh with some questionable clock management down the stretch against the Steelers, which Saturday has regretted publicly. The Cowboys, meanwhile, 4-1 since Dak Prescott came back, 24, 49, 28, 40, and 20 again in terms of the points scored status. That overtime loss against the Packers, though, very much continues to sting because you had a 28-14 lead and you blew it. You got to fare better against a Colts team that is playing a little bit better right now. Before I get to my keys to the game, some injury news and notes. The injury report from Wednesday will probably look pretty similar. This is the Wednesday one for today's, once it's officially published in a few hours. DeMarcus Lawrence will be limited for much of the season with that foot injury, but he'll be okay. Jayron Kearse is going to play. He had that separated shoulder, but he came back in the game. Nothing to be worried about there. Good news, Anthony Barr is trending towards his return. He might be on a bit of a pitch count this week, but as long as there's no Saturday setback with the hamstring again, sounds like Barr will make his return after missing the past three games. Meanwhile, Trevon Diggs, Michael Gallup, again, not at the facility. They're battling illness, non-COVID related, by the way, at least per the Cowboys. Seems like they should be okay. We'll have to wait and see on that front, but the expectation is they're fine for Sunday. It's an illness. The flu bug kind of ran around the Cowboys locker room. Diggs and Gallup got it, but they should be just fine for Sunday. Plenty of time to get right. So you got in this one. Should see plenty of DALs in the comments section, but make sure you're showing up and commenting. DAL for the Dallas Cowboys, IND for the Indianapolis Colts. Let me know who you got coming up on Sunday. Key to the game, number one, stopping the run. Kind of makes sense and accidentally rhymed kind of too. Jonathan Taylor has not been the expected production machine that I know fantasy owners, myself included, thought he was going to be this year. The Cowboys' run defense is coming off a much better performance in the last two games, really, but they haven't been as good as they can be, but maybe that's a sign of things to come. The Colts' ground game, meanwhile, is starting to figure things out. They've been much better. They've been efficiency-wise a bottom-tier team all year long. They've had a fumbling issue, too, with Taylor and Matt Ryan for whatever reason. But Taylor has gotten things going a little bit more as of late. Outside runs is how you beat the Cowboys on the ground. The Vikings and Giants didn't do enough of those. We'll see if the Colts and their rather, I would say, decimated, limited coaching staff can figure that out for prime time. Today's Cowboys Report is brought to you by Fetch. Fetch is super easy to use and a free app that allows you to earn rewards on anything that you buy. Scan any physical receipt or e-receipt and you will earn points for your purchases. Process takes only seconds and you don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what it's on or what you're buying. You're going to get points for it. Super easy to use, as you can see right here with this fancy video. You open up the Fetch Rewards app, press the orange camera button, snap a photo of that receipt, hit submit. You'll see the Fetty popping to show that you've earned more rewards. It's a very simple process. You can also, by the way, use the e-receipt function to get rewarded for Amazon purchases or whatever online shopping you do, or maybe your wife does, by syncing your email account. You can then redeem those points for gift cards at Amazon, Starbucks, or hundreds of their retailers and restaurants that are available. Fetch is available on the iPhone and Android app stores. Use our link, chatsports.com/fetch, and use promo code CHAT, C-H-A-T, at sign up for 5,000 points when you scan your first receipt. That's the equivalent to a free $5 gift card they're going to give you just for signing up and scanning a receipt. It's a free app. The 5,000 bonus points, however, is only for a limited time. So get going now. Chatsports.com/fetch. Use promo code CHAT. Links in the comments section and the description. I've racked up a lot of points already thanks to, having a 1-year-old at home. You guys should be too. Chatsports.com/fetch. Big thank you to Fetch for sponsoring today's Cowboys Report. Key to the game, number 2. Keep the offense humming. The stats we're about to show you very much surprised producer Nick, but the offense since Dak Prescott has come back has been an absolutely elite one in this 5-game sample size. They are number 1 in points per game. Their bad game is 24 points, which is like you're normally going to win those games, right? They are first in third down conversion rate. By the way, they were 29th before Dak Prescott came back. Massive difference there. They're first in points per drive. They're second in yards per game. I will make note the points per game before Dak, they were 23rd. The offense has gone from, it's not very good, to, wow, this is, as it's been whenever Dak's been healthy alongside Kellen Moore, on average a top 3 offense. They are 4th in rushing yards per game. They were 16th without Dak. That is some respect paid by opposing defenses. The offense has very much and significantly been elevated, with the only change being the quarterback has now returned. So predict the score for me of the Cowboys versus the Colts. I assume we've all got Dallas winning, but is it by a blowout or a narrow margin? Sound off for me in the comments section. Key to the game, number 3. Now, this can really happen if the first two happen. If you're stopping the run, forcing third downs, if you have that lead, we saw it against Minnesota. When this defense has the chance to tee off on opposing passing games, they thrive. Their stunts, their pressure combinations have been elite. And you will not find a more startling dichotomy in terms of opposing pass rush and the opposing offensive line. The Cowboys lead the NFL in sacks this year, 45. The Colts offensive line has allowed the most sacks in the NFL with 40. Now, their game plan should be short, quick passes, get on the ball quickly, but Matt Ryan's a statue back there, assuming he starts. Then he'll go back to Ellinger. It's not been very pretty for Matt Ryan. He can't move in the pocket the way he used to, and the O-line's not nearly good enough. So how many sacks do you think the Dallas Cowboys will have this week? Maybe it's 5. If you have the Cowboys defense fantasy, you know to start them, right? Get those predictions in for me in the comments section. Number 2 kind of ties into to number 4 here. Good Kellen Moore. Despite all those elite numbers and averages, there have been some inconsistent moments. I do think part of that is expectations of the Cowboys should score every drive. It's not going to happen. Even great offenses have their bad moments, their adversity mid-game, some bad decision-making, bad play calls, some just inconsistency. I mean, the Chiefs had 21 points against this garbage Colts, and they lost to the Chiefs. Doesn't make any sense, right? If good Kellen Moore shows up, if they, I think, run the football a little bit early on, hit those play-action throws, let Dak cook when he's on, the offense can drop. As good as this Colts defense is, they can drop 28, 30 points once again. Maybe not quite Team 40 burger, but, hey, your defense has been a little bit quiet with takeaways. It'd be a great week for a pick 6. Now, we will be live, as we are every week, for this week's Cowboys game, and we have double the subscribers than the actual Indianapolis Colts YouTube channel. Yeah, suck it, Jim Irsay. You guys subscribe for free to the Cowboys Report for coverage every single day of an actually good NFL team. Key to the game, there are 5 super disrespectful, but also accurate. Don't play with your food. That's what this game is. And the Cowboys kind of did that a little bit, by the way, against the Indianapolis Colts. They were kind of farting around and not being the most consistent team like they should be. The Cowboys can absolutely smoke this Indianapolis Colts team. They're not that good. They've struggled throughout this season. They've been fairly mediocre. The Cowboys can and should blow them out of the water. But it requires them to not get too confident. Obviously, I made the confidence comment, right? But the Cowboys need to be locked in. Don't be getting overconfident. I can say that stuff because I'm not a player, but the players and coaching staff must be locked in. If the Cowboys do that, they can blow them out of the water. Now, look, blowouts don't happen every week, even against bad teams. Not how the NFL tends to work. But if you come with your A game, you'll win by double-digit scores. One thing they got to do is fix those damn penalties. It's been a real problem for this Cowboys team all year long. Here is your penalty leaderboard. Tyler Smith, 10 penalties, 2 of which have been declined because he got allowed sacks on those plays. Got to be better. Terrence Steele, Hendershot, Dante Fowler, Kelvin Joseph all have 5. Several others like Biotish, Lamb, and Parsons have 4. The penalties got to stop because you're not normally going to convert 3rd and 15s or 3rd and goal from the 15s after a bunch of penalties. Got to dial those in, especially against better opponents. So help us once again bully the Cowboys into fewer flags. Type flags for me in the comments section if you want to bully Dallas and Mike McCarthy's team into fewer mistakes. Finally, my score prediction, I've got the Cowboys winning 31-17. I think this is a game they should win. It should be over by the 3rd quarter if they come correct. We'll see if they do that this Sunday night.